This is officially the WHCL College Lemoore portion of the day. So very excited. I feel like I'm having like a little throwback to like teaching in this room. The students look a little bit older, looking around, but look just as energized. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a rapid fire 23-minute state of the college because it's really important that we get done at 1:30 because we have lots of great breakout sessions for you. Just so you know, that clock's a little bit fast. And then Frida's going to be keeping me on track here with my little timer to make sure that I get done on time. But all the materials are in your meeting invite. And so yesterday Dawn sent out a meeting invite around 4 o'clock. If you accept that meeting invite, everything that you see today from presenters this afternoon, materials from ACE, materials from whatever the presentation is, you don't have to write it down or take notes necessarily because it's in your meeting invite. And in 2 months from now, you're going to be like, oh, what was that one piece of data? You can go back to the meeting invite from today and go find the presentation or the resource. All right. This is what our day will look like. I'll explain the sessions a little bit more in a moment. But today I'm going to talk about stay strong and stay golden. And you'll hear me talk about this a lot. It's something that I've thought a lot about throughout the summer. We've talked a lot about getting back to our strong framework of starting strong or getting strong, starting strong, staying strong, finishing strong. But I also thought a lot this summer, especially in July, I got a little bit of time away about what makes this place so special. Because it is. Even if you don't know it, it is. But many of you do know it because you go away to conferences or you talk with colleagues, and I've done the same thing. It just makes me really appreciate the fact that we get to be here and get to do what we do in each and every day. So I'll be talking a lot about that. So summer, for many of you, hopefully you got plenty of time off. Some of you are teaching. Some of you are traveling. We did quite a bit of things. June, July, we're very busy at the college while you were gone, if you were gone. So staying strong in summer looked like us meeting with our Achieving the Dream coach. We did some strategic planning. We met with some high school partners. We talked a lot about our adult education lab strategic planning. This was our classified appreciation day that we did a couple weeks ago. So we did a number of different things throughout the summer. We had a ton of great summer programs on campus. So our 5C experience had its 19th year. Our Jumpstart program had its second year, incredible program. Upward Bound was doing things. It was really, really cool. You might recognize one face on there. So does anyone recognize this young man right here? That's Jalen Daniels. That's right. That's Naomi Daniels' son. So yeah. So really, really fun. We stayed golden. This one's kind of funny. So we won the award from Illumin this summer, we got something called Illuminating the Way. And I thought like if you just had Illumin, you were illuminating the way. But apparently we're illuminating the way better than anybody else. So they have about 100 or so colleges they work with, and they gave us the highest award this summer for how we utilize it in terms of program review, curriculum, SLOs, et cetera, and catalog. I know sometimes we get, it's been a journey with Illumin. Used to sound more like Newman, right? We were like kind of frustrated. We're getting there. But apparently we're doing it well because we won the award this summer as a college. So thank you all of our faculty and leaders for getting us there. And then I stayed strong and stayed golden. For me, it's just family time and checking out. And I got to do a little bit of that. We got to travel up to Oregon, Washington, visit some family and friends. We got to go to the zoo with the family. And so that was great. The selfie, that's Taylor, my oldest, who's starting at Hanford High next week, teaching English. So I'm super excited about that. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. I'll pass that on to her. Yes. And then Travis, the one who thinks his birthdays are national holidays on the left. Not picture it as Tobin, because he wasn't with us that day. But this was our moment of 15 hours in a car with a 9-month-old deciding on the I-5 that maybe we just needed to take her out of the car seat for a little while. And then that was her face. So it was totally worth it. Totally worth it. As Kristen mentioned this morning, we have new faces and new roles. So if you are in a new role since January, or if you're a new face at WHCL College Lemoore, if you could stand up real fast for us. I'm not going to make you do too much, but if you can just stand up. I'm not going to have you do introductions, LaQuia. Don't worry. Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, good. So what's really exciting right now, just looking around the room, is starting to see how many of our students that were in our seats are now coming back. Right? If you haven't seen Gustavo in a while, Gustavo was a student of ours a number of years ago. CK was a student of ours. LaQuia was a student of ours. So it's just incredible to see all of you coming back and doing what you're doing. And it's very inspiring for us. So staying strong. What does this portion mean? So as I think about this, and this is built into kind of our college goals and frameworks, we really want to have a strong foundation. And that's what makes us who we are. right? We've gone through a lot of budget cuts in 2018-19, slashing sections, all kinds of struggles there, right? We navigated through COVID, and we did that because we figured out how to stay strong, and we have a strong framework. So part of that last year was a ton of strategic planning, kind of setting the stage for future, right? So we brought a group of people together and did our educational master plan. This is not new. This is repeat. This is something we did back in the fall, right? But out of that really came where we're going for the next decade. So serving and supporting our community, and you'll see what that means there, growing enrollment with our adult population or post-traditional population, and our traditional, students coming from high school, and effective and engaging pathways. So a lot of the work we've done this last year has really been grounded in our educational master plan. A lot of the work we've done the last 2 years has been grounded also in our strategic plan, which we came together and created in 2021. And in that, we talked then about our main goals would be increasing ZTC and LTC offerings. We talked about flexible spaces and services, and we talked about improving our strong framework. And in our strategic plan, we talked specifically about the Get Strong piece, right? Everything that students do before they become a student with ours, and that's been a real focus this past year, and we've seen a lot of improvement. And built into all of those equitable activities, outcomes, and services woven throughout the fabric of that. So we've seen things like our HOPE initiative come to fruition under Zara's leadership. We've seen a lot of professional development, got a strong student equity plan. Elmer worked with a group of people to put that together, submitted this last year. But all of these are planned. So people say, what are you doing next to the college or where are you going? These are the documents that we refer back to. And these are the documents that are built on data, right? We're looking at our community. We're looking at who's not being served. We're looking at where the educational gaps are, and then we create these plans. We don't want these to be things that are in binders that just kind of disappear over time or don't get looked at. And so that really has kept us strong. So just one example of that, when we talked about OER and ZTC. So Kelsey put this together. Where's Kelsey Smith? Kelsey Smith. Yeah, Kelsey Smith. Round of applause. Kelsey Smith right there. So Kelsey put this together. We've been on this journey, right? We've been on this journey for 6-7 years now with OER, right? Trailblazers out of the gate with faculty going and then some grants. So as we stand today, we've saved our students $8.1 million. We have 26 ZTC degree pathways and certificates, served 86,000 students. That's the whole town of Hanford, if you're checking. We've had some authorship, people writing, and where we stand today is 74% of our courses, 68% of ZTC and 8% of low textbook costs, which is under 40. And we'll be doing more with that. Staying strong is also making sure we're accredited, because without accreditation, the piece of paper that we hand out at graduation doesn't count, right? And so we've submitted our ICER. I believe it was July 25th. It was about 250 pages. It had about 1,200 pieces of evidence linked. It's now available on the website. So if you're looking for something to read this weekend, it's a fascinating read, but it's, we got it done, and I think we represented ourselves well. It looks very different. If you've experienced accreditation visits in the past, this is nothing like that. So it's, you might not even notice that it's happening in the next 9 months, quite honestly. So we sent it. We have a team assigned. Our chair is president of Laney College, Rudy Besikoff. I've got to meet him a couple times already. They'll be reviewing our ICER in mid-October. They'll be sending us some things that they want to follow up on, so what they call core inquiries. So it's very literature, data, evidence-driven. So they'll say, we want a little bit more evidence to show this, this, and this. And they'll say, give it back to us in a month, right? And we'll just have this dialogue back and forth with them. They come for a focused site visit February 19th, probably 3 or 4 team members, and that's kind of it, right? It's not rolling out the carpet. It's not 3 days of interviews all over the campus. It's not big community forums. Those will happen on Zoom. It's much more focused, leading to them giving us some, where we think we stand, and we'll find out in June 2024 if we get reaffirmed for accreditation. But I want to thank everybody. So many of you are involved, writing, evidence collecting. I don't want to start listing names because I'm sure I'll leave somebody out, but just some incredible work done. We're staying strong with enrollment. So Kristen talked about this a little bit this morning. We're bouncing back significantly in Lemoore. And I want you to know that's not just because, it's not just happening because students are going back to school. We've had really intentional outreach and recruitment. All of you have been really intentional with your students out in the community. It's a team sport when it comes to enrollment. And so we're seeing some really impressive numbers. The line that's crossed out, I'm sure many of you jumped straight to that. The line that's crossed out is projected. And the reason I took that out is because I talked to Kyle about this, and Leslie, you can confirm this because I think I saw Leslie in the room. This part needs to be updated a little bit, right? So when we look at our projected, it's 2620, but we're sitting at 2425 today. And so that number, it's not really where we're projected to be. I'll show you, we can show in a minute where we're probably more likely to be projected. But we're sitting today at 79.5% of our enrollment target for the whole year, right? And that enrollment cycle, we still have until the week that second 9-week classes start in the spring to get to 100%. So I can confidently say we will get to 100%, and probably a little bit more. And I can say that because math and science people taught me how to analyze data. And I think I'll be able to show you that in a few moments, right? So what does that look like? So these are, again, you guys will get these, in your, you can go into your meeting invite and really like dive into this and all of that good stuff. But if you look at the line for 2023, apportionment year on this side, this is 2022-23. So this is last fall and spring. At this time last year, we had 2,041 FTEs and we were at 67% of our target. I feel like a weatherman right now. And there's a storm coming in from the west with slight humidity. And there where we stand today, 24-25, right, compared to 2041. We're at 79.5% of our target compared to 67%. And what you see with these lines is they look pretty similar in the beginning, right? So what I told everybody in the spring, if you came to a lunch and learn, and we talked about enrollment, it's really how we get out of the gate in the first 3 months. And then after that, there's a pretty steady trend in terms of enrollment, right? And so it's looking very, very promising, very encouraging. As we look at head count, so this is the actual number of students, unduplicated students that are coming to Lemoore for this fall. This takes you back to 2019 when we were at our peak, right? So we had 28 students in 2019. I think 2018 fall, we were maybe even like slightly higher than that by 100. But you can kind of see the trend, right? So our low point was 3,000 students in fall of 21. Last fall we had 3,066, so a slight uptick. And then this fall we have 3,748 students registered for fall semester. So that's 700 more students showing up next week than we had last fall. So expect a lot more activity, expect a lot more things going on. This one, go look on your own time, but Callie Brandon and the outreach team, they're all here today. Incredible job at the high schools. They know them by name. I have students, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they know them by name. So like I was at Lemoore High School senior exit interview, and I interviewed 12 seniors, and 11 out of the 12 are coming here. One's going to Boise State because they're outdoor recreation major and they like the blue turf. So, but the other 11, I'd say you coming to Eagle Days. Yep, you coming to Eagle Days. Oh, I didn't know about it, but I'll talk to Callie. I'll talk to Jose. I'll talk to Myra. They just start naming our people off by name, right? So they've been there, they've been out of the schools. So 572 high school seniors matriculating this fall. That number goes up daily because some of them will drop for non-payment. Now they're coming back. But 584 pre-COVID, right? So we've recaptured. And if you look at all the ones that are green, those are ones that were actually higher than pre-COVID numbers. And all the ones that were checks, maybe not catching up pre-COVID, but better than last year, right? So Lemoore High School, we were at 111 last year, 162. Right? That's 51, Jameson. That's 51 more high school students that are coming here this fall. The other Stay Strong piece is branding. So a lot more to come about that. As you heard Kristen mention this morning, we're going to remain Golden Eagles. I can tell you that much. And then we're going to be having some conversations throughout the fall about the possibility of a name change. Kalinga's not going to have a name change. We're going to continue to have that conversation. Just know it won't be done in a vacuum. It'll be done very publicly. We'll probably have some open forums. We'll have some town halls before we make any kind of decision around that. And you'll have your input. Okay. But thank you to those of you that have been on focus groups and some other things. We're moving. We're staying strong with budget and facilities. We're still moving forward with the VAST building, going out to bid soon. We got $25 million from the state. And so we're not going to give $25 million back. The first time around when we went out to bid, the number was a lot smaller than we thought, which is a good thing in terms of what we'll have to go out to complete the building. And we're looking at other funding too. The other thing, I won't spend time on it today, but the 50% law, which is really starting to impact our college and our district a lot. So if you're not familiar with the 50% law, it's a law that came out in the 1960s or so, that it doesn't exist in CSUs or UCs. But 50% of everything in our general fund budget has to go directly to instruction, which is a good thing, right? Which for the most part is a good thing. But the way that we do business is different, right? In terms of what we're looking like as a community college 50 years ago. So right now, Every time there's somebody leaves a position that's not instruction, like we're having to look at, do we have to freeze this position? Do we get to bring back this position? Anything that's outside of instruction. And that's become very challenging. And you'll hear more about it, and we'll try to educate folks more about it, but just know that it's causing some challenges. We're staying strong with success. So Kyle asked today, what's the success rate for the district? Well, I can tell you for West Hills College Lemoore in 2022-23, we were at 76.7% for course success rate. So give yourself a round of applause for that. All of the greens are things that were higher than the previous year, right? And this year's the year, where are we? I think the COVID year was a little bit of an anomaly data-wise. But in terms of like last year, 21-22 and 22-23, face-to-face was 78%, online 77, almost the same now. And then our hybrid rates went up last year too. So that was an area that we were concerned about, and that's all right. And we're going to do more training in that area, but that's starting to go up also. And as I mentioned, a lot of conversation this year about staying strong. So we've built back enrollment, not fully, but mostly. So then the next step becomes, do we retain our students, right? Do they persist? Do they retain? Do they stay strong? And do they complete, right? That becomes, now that we have more students in the pipeline, that becomes a focus. So we'll be looking at persistence rates and advising notes in Civitas and early alerts and student ed plans and other ways that we can make sure we support our students as we're going. Thank you. I will take a breath and I'll check the time. 8:23. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a breath by handing it over quickly to our athletic director. Yep. Let's give it a round of applause right now for Andrea Peaky.
Good to see all your faces again.
I'm snoozing.
So just want to quickly thank all of you guys for your support and your future support. We'll go through here now for our student athletes coming up this year. We will have our student athletes. They should be, and I see Kim in my hand that I was instructing our coaches to do this, to hand out their travel schedule so you will know when they will be absent and not in class. So if that's not happening, please shoot me an email, let me know, or text me or something. But the other thing I really want to do is let you guys see faces, see the names of our coaches and our staff, because they are part-time. You know, they're here late at night. They're not here when most of us are here, and they're putting a lot of time in. But we need to kind of know who they are and see who they are and things like that. So you guys probably know this crew here. We're there 90% of the time, but I think we've got some more. So we have Amari Pringle, who's heading up the women's basketball program. Then we have Kevin Wiles, who you guys probably the most familiar face, but volleyball coach for the women's. Francisco Hernandez Honcho, this is with everybody, is women's soccer. Javon Joe for men's basketball. Marcio might be a little bit familiar, been around for a long time. And then we have Edgardo, who is here, Edgardo Wave. So they had it says women's soccer, but it's supposed to be men's soccer. You can coach both. Is that okay? And then so we have an athletic t-shirt every year. And last year it was Be All In. And this is kind of what the students wanted to go to our student athletes. They wanted to talk about what we fly for, what we stand for. And so these were some of the words that came up. So we put that in the t-shirt. You'll see us pointing it around. The student athletes will decide what day we wear that. And so then every day we're supposed to be in that, as long as it's clean, I told them. And then please, we will have what's called Golden Games. We'll publicize those, market that out. That means those are really important games. We'd love to see all of you there. That's a clear emphasis this year. So I hand it back over to JP. He's taking his breath and his
Awesome. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Yeah, so Andrew and I have talked a lot about just involvement of community for our student athletes and for our students to have some more student life, right? So I want to encourage you to come to games. Gotti's Kitchen is going to be super involved, so we'll be taking tacos out to the men's soccer games and the women's soccer games, bringing maybe in some other vendors for the basketball games and volleyball games and wrestling, et cetera. So we just want to build community. So the last 5 minutes is staying golden. Right? So what makes us golden? The relentless pursuit of student success. And as I thought about that, what makes us special is how we do that is with innovative excellence. I feel like this is how we have done this for years, is with innovative excellence and with inclusive excellence. So when I say innovative, the types of things we'll be having conversations and work groups and dialogues around this semester or AI, ChatGPT. I heard some great conversations started yesterday. Bachelor's degree task force, we're getting back to looking at that again. Pathways 2.0, so we heard today about the alternate schedule. Data diving and then disaggregating data. Did a little bit of that yesterday in Flex Day and the importance of that. We're going to start for the first time a Golden Eagle Alumni Association, right? Just like Travis turned 20 today and is out of his teenage gangly years, we are too as a college, right? So we have incredible students now that have done incredible things 20 years later. We want to recognize them and make them feel part of our community, and a lot of professional development. Staying golden on the inclusive excellence side is that we just have a ton of events. So Amber's doing a ton of stuff with student government. Zara's doing a ton of stuff with Hope. Rachel and her team in the library have done an incredible job of just various months. So we have different themes for each month. We have different activities. That's a QR code, because when Elmer sent this to me, he said, JP, things are changing like every single day. So that'll take you to an updated calendar. So we'll send that out like similar times. But what you see today is just the beginning. There'll be other events added kind of as we go throughout. So that's just a couple of examples of a couple months. Additionally, when we talk about professional development, Kristen mentioned Upskill 3.0. The difference with that one is it's all right, David, it's in your meeting invite. You can just pull it back up and then scan it from there. So Upskill 3.0, is, I want to make it clear, is for staff, faculty, and administration. And that's the way that it was last year. I'll be doing lunch and learns once a month in September, October, November. And then something we started with our classified staff last year, but everybody's welcome to join, is professional development in the afternoon, or PD in the PM. So we'll be taking 3 Fridays where we're shutting down the college for a couple hours, and just doing different types of training and different conversations and different professional development. Last but not least, for faculty specific. So we got a culturally responsive teaching grant. And so we have a number of individuals, including Vera Kennedy, who's been heading this up for us, created a program called Data-Driven Approaches to Responsive Teaching, or the DART program. So this is for faculty training. I'm going to send out an email this afternoon that will have a video where Vera explains the program a little bit more. She'll actually send you the syllabus to the course, so you get a chance to take a look at what's involved in the course. And then if you want to sign up, that would be great. There's some of the topics that you'll be going through. These are some of the things that you will be doing. A lot of it is really what was kind of introduced yesterday with Kyle and Leslie and Jackie, right? At the heart of all of this is looking at the data in your own classrooms and seeing which of your students are being successful and which of your students are struggling, right? And then based on that, creating approaches to help them to be successful, and really kind of experimenting, right? In the ways that you're approaching teaching and learning and innovating, and doing it in cohort groups so you can have dialogue that meet weekly. Much like if you went through Canvas coaching, it's a very similar approach. And so we're really, really excited about it. We're looking for 2 cohorts of, we're looking for 20 full-time faculty in the fall, and 20 full-time faculty in the spring. That's our goal. And that's what we have funding for. So 20 full-time faculty to join us in the fall for this, and 20 in the spring. We're planning it weeks 5 through 13, so you can get through the rush of the beginning of the semester and not have to worry about the end of the semester. If we don't fill up with full-time faculty in the first week or so, with 20 in this first cohort, then we'll be reaching out to our part-time faculty to make it available to them also. But really want to encourage you to do it. That talks about the weekly schedule, and then it's a $1,000 stipend that's connected to the grant that we received. So if you haven't been through Canvas coaching, again, similar model where you're getting together once a week with a coach, with 3 or 4 other faculty, just to talk through best practices, data. It's really, really good. How do you sign up? We want to make it super simple. You just email Vera. Okay, so Vera Kennedy at WHCCD.edu, and we'll send out a link in the email too that you can sign up that way. And that would be great. Look at that, Frida. 46 seconds left. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Last but not least, I got 43 seconds for this announcement. So we talked about community. We talked about coming together. And so I'm personally inviting all of you. This is a personal invitation to you, David Babb, and to you, Anna Leone, and to you, Sean Jackson, and to you, Dr. Brian Abella. Yes. And to everybody that's in the room to come join us for an evening of hope. Friday, September 8th. Last year was the first one that we did. So Zara's put this together. It's just a fun community. It's open to the communities. We'll have vendors, DJ, we'll have food, we'll have, we got the Fresno African Drumming Group, we got the Get Down Band, we got lots of good stuff coming on. So good family fun event, evening of hope. Want to encourage you to get there. All right. So we want to make PD like interactive and on the move, so you're not sitting for 3 hours, because we know that doesn't result. Like right now, I've like just maxed out your attention, so I got it to 23 minutes, and I know that that's probably the sweet spot right there. So here's what we're going to do today: 3 workshops. So you're going to be rotating to workshops for 40 minutes. You have to walk to the workshops. That's why today we put a special order in for an 89-degree afternoon. And for those of you calculating your steps that didn't think you were going to get them today, you're going to get them today. And then you're going to be excited at the end of the day. So the 3 workshops, Golden Spaces will be in the library. So you're going to get to go and actually see in person 4 new spaces. Golden Safety will be in here, and Golden Support. Let me explain how this is going to work. We're making it super simple on everybody. You got to listen. Hang on. You got to listen. Make it super simple. So if you're math and science, here's your job. You're going to find a lady called Callie Brandon that has a sign right there. And you're going to follow her for the next 2.5 hours. And wherever she tells you to go, you listen. Okay, you listen and you follow. Same for Team CTE. Where's Amy Baker? Right there. So Team CTE. Very good. And then, and who has the challenging assignment? The one that they're going to go out and come back in. Hang on. Yeah, that's Amy. So Amy, you guys are going to be confused because Amy's group, you guys are going to go look at the new HTAC categorical wing, and then you come straight back to this room, which will seem confusing, but it's on purpose. Okay. And then if you're Team Arts and Letters and Social Behavioral Sciences, right there with Chris Costa. All right. So just listen to him, follow him, have a wonderful afternoon. Appreciate you guys. Go Golden Eagles. Yeah. Golden Eagles.